Dan, I know you talked a lot this season about the Rock's consistency and this team's ability to bounce back, but given the situation, just how comforting is it that giving us steadiness that Luis is the one on the hill tonight?
Yeah, certainly going to be tested today, both of those, and Rock has pitched, consistently well all season long. He's that veteran guy who's been in circumstances like this before and knows, what's at stake. I think, he has pitched well against Detroit. The first time out going 7 innings strong, second time 5 innings. Our offense able to kind of open it up later, both times against Skubal. So, he's up to the task, no question about it. And you're right, our guys, today's a day to bounce back, which we have done all season long. And so both of those today are of the utmost for sure.
We'll stay in front with Brady.
Dan, the play that you challenged yesterday with Julio running to second, is there a teaching point in there about maybe stopping to delay the tag, or is it just too much reactionary to even think about something else?
Yeah, I mean, oftentimes stopping there is a play. Sometimes you think you're going to be able to get by the fielder at the same time. So, there's oftentimes where it's just a collision course and you just, you feel like you're going to get past and you don't. But, it's a tough play there. And I think the challenge there was to see if there was an actual tag, and it did look like he had just kind of gotten him. So, with an extra challenge, it was certainly worth that challenge at the point.
Go to Ryan.
Dan, I think both times you faced Skubal in the regular season, you'd lost 2 and you came back and kind of salvaged not getting swept at home. And then when you faced him in Detroit, it was coming off that Yankees sweep. What do you remember about those games, and what were you successful at to beat him? Because he's not a guy that gets beat very often. But what did you guys do right to beat him?
Yeah, I mean, I think a couple things. One, I think we were pretty patient, and I think when you are patient with that, he's got the 2 good fastballs, obviously with the velocity, and then the velocity difference between that and the changeup, and just being patient there, and trying to get pitches that you can handle, I think is important. And then being able to do that allows you to put some pitches on him and put him on early. And I think the first time we faced him early in the season, I think we got close, 95 pitches in 5 1/3 or so. Second time, I think we were up in the high 80s in 5 innings. So, I think that's a big key for us. And I think another key is going to be, hoping to get to him early. With good pitchers in these kind of situations, being able to get to him early is key. And hopefully that's what we're able to do tonight.
Go to second row in the middle.
Dan, a lot of relievers used last night, a lot of high-stress pitches. What's the state of the bullpen? What's the availability? Specifically, is Andres still back up tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's available. This is the time of year where we have to be available, and these guys want the ball and they want to be in those situations, and so I think we'll be ready tonight for whatever comes our way again.
Go to the middle back, Tyler.
Yeah, you got Mitch in there today in the lineup. Obviously a righty-lefty, but what do you like about him against Skubal?
Yeah, I think he's swung the bat decent against Skubal for sure. It's a tough at bat, and has been able to get to him. And Garv with that, has really shown the ability, especially this year, to not only give you good at bats, especially against the left-handers, but be able to drive the ball too. And I thought that's one thing that we did pretty well last night was drive the ball. We didn't get a lot of hits from it, but we did, hit a lot of balls deep last night that didn't get out of the ballpark. But Garv gives you that ability to drive the ball to the ballpark, especially against a guy like Skubal. So, that's a big plus for us to have him in the lineup today.
Going to back left.
Dan, you were part of that 0-1 Mariners playoff team, and obviously know the home drought since then. And I'm just wondering if there's any added weight to try to beat the team that ends that for this fan base.
I think every time you set out in spring training, you set out to get yourself to a World Series, and I don't think that the goal is different any year other than any other. And so, I don't think you feel any more pressure or not. We're here, we're getting started in this division series. We dropped game 1, but we've got to come back today, and that's our focus at this point. And I think we need to really concentrate on evening up that series today.
Come back on your right, Taryn.
Speaking of being patient with Scooble, Cal talked about last night about maybe just adrenaline being a little bit and coming out more patient and relaxed today. With yesterday being a bullpen day and you guys having faced Scooble, is there, as good as he is there a sense of just familiarity that's kind of comforting to the fact that you guys will be able to come out more relaxed and just play your game today? Yeah,
I mean, I think having familiarity with a guy certainly does help. Even if it's a Scooble, with oftentimes with bullpen games, you're seeing lots of different guys and having to make lots of different adjustments during the course of a game. With a guy like Scooble, you definitely have to make your adjustments, but it's not adjusting to a different guy. And so I think, I think in some ways the familiarity will help. But I think offensively, like I said last night, we really did drive some balls deep in the ballpark and just not able to get them off the wall or over the wall. And more solid contact today will be good.
Go back to Brady in the front.
Dan, in the regular season, extra innings, you're used to immediately coming out and being able to kind of play small ball, move a guy over to get him in. How different is it to be back in this situation where you're trying to build an inning from the ground up? And Cal talked a little bit about maybe guys trying to get too big in a situation like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is. You sort of have to remind yourself that there isn't a runner at second base here, and you are starting from scratch, and our guys, that is, they know that part of our identity offensively is to grind out at bats and find their way on base and create traffic, and I think that that's when we're at our best, and in those extra inning situations, I think it's even more pronounced is to trying to find your way on base any way that you can, so that you can start that inning off in the right way.
Anyone else for Dan? Go to the second row again.
Dan, you talked about trying to keep guys on schedule, keep the pitchers on schedule. With that in mind, is it at the point where using Bryce out of the bullpen would affect his ability to start later down the road this series?
Yeah, I mean, we're watching it as we go, and have to kind of assess the situation each day. I mean, each playoff game presents its own different circumstances and whatnot. So we'll just continue to look at that as we go and see how it all unfolds.
And then, kind of on that note, any more decisions on a Game 3 starter?
Yeah, Game 3 starter Logan Gilbert. So he will be our Game 3 starter in Detroit.
What do you expect to see out of him?
Logan Gilbert. I mean, what he has, done for us this year. I think, matches up well against his club and with this, obviously the fastball, but more, the split, the slider. Really good secondary options against his club, and I think stacks up pretty well.
Julio, what can you take away from your the previous two games against Scooble, and maybe some of the tweaks or adjustments that you guys can make against him today?
Well, as we all know, Scooble is probably the best pitcher in the league right now. So, I mean, obviously, he's really good. But I feel like we have done, fairly well in the past, 2 times we have faced him. But I know he's gonna come out and compete, and I feel like we got to bring that same mentality, compete, respecting him, and just kind of do our best, play our game, stick to, swinging our pitches. And I feel like at the end of the game, I feel like the results are going to be there.
Let's go next. Stay with Dan.
Cal mentioned that maybe you guys got a little big and maybe a little out of the approach last night. Just how do you get back into the identity of what you guys do at your best offensively today?
Just kind of how I said, just sticking to our approach, sticking to swinging our pitches, and I feel like we're going to be in a good spot if we do that. I feel like we know that we're a really good team, that we can also do damage quick against anybody, and I just feel like, staying within ourselves is going to be huge, moving forward in this postseason.
Go to Tyler in the back.
Julio, what are the challenges of hitting in this park? I mean, you can hit home runs here. You hit one last night, but a lot of fly balls get caught. What are some of the unique challenges to hitting here?
At least personally for me, I don't really see a challenge like that. I feel like, yeah, like some fly balls got caught on the wall and like things like that. But like that's not something that you can beat yourself over. You know, like that's something that, you know, it's out of your control. You put a good swing, that's in your control. You put a good swing, you swing at a good pitch, and I feel like that's all you can control. I just feel like the park and all that, if you hit a fly ball to the track, like all those things, just like things that are outside of your control. And yeah, that's just how I see it. I don't really see like a challenge like that.
Go to Brady in the front.
Julio, the play at second where you're running into Baez yesterday, do you think about maybe stopping to delay the tag, or is it just too much happening in the moment to think like that?
Well, honestly, in that play, once he hit the ground ball, like I didn't really think that it was going to be Javi that was going to like caught the ball right there. And I was just trying to go as hard as I could, you know, to try to like, you know, get to the base as fast as I could. And once I looked over to him, he was just right there. Yeah, maybe like could have stopped, you know, and keep a guy first and third and like delay a little bit. But I just feel like in that point, like, I'm just trying to go as fast as I can to get to the base.
Anybody else? Good adjustment in the middle.
After last night's game, what was Dan Wilson's message to the team? After the game yesterday, what was Dan Wilson's message to the team?
I mean, we didn't really talk. You know, there's nothing to talk about. You know, I feel like we know we got beat, and we also know that we got to come back and show up and play a baseball game today. I feel like there's nothing really to talk about.
We'll go back to Dan.
Julio, seeing what Cal's been able to do this season, first of all, how much have you enjoyed being alongside that? And are there things or tendencies that maybe you've picked up from him as the year's gone on?
I mean, there's a lot of things you can pick up from the guy. He's been amazing this year, you know, like not just like hitting the home runs and all the highlights and all the things, but just like, you know, his consistency, his work ethic, his preparation, his mindset that he brings it to every single game. And you know, I feel like that's something that I really, you know, try to like, you know, get from him too. You know, I feel like I like to do like things kind of my own way, like the things that I learn how to do them. But you know, having like a good example in him, like kind of on the daily basis, is really positive, not just for me, but for the whole team too.
Go to Kate.
Julio, you cut your strikeout rate down significantly this season. You expand less. How have you grown and matured as a hitter this year specifically?
Just feel like understanding myself a little bit more, you know, like not really like trying to do too much. I feel like I'm a strong guy that if I put a good swing on the ball, like it's gonna go out anywhere. I just feel like, you know, being more comfortable with that and like kind of filling my own shoes in the type of hitter I am. I like driving the ball to all the fields. I like taking my hits when I can too. I also like taking my shots, but I feel like, you know, just kind of like being more comfortable to just, you know, use my different clubs, like take my different swings when I need to.
Go to Ryan in the front.
Is this the identity you want, your hitting identity? Is this who you want to be? For, you know, the guy we're seeing now, what you just described, do you think this is who you are moving forward in a sustainable way? Because, you know, in past years, you've always been kind of looking for things to add or whatever, but you think that this is who you are moving forward and how this is going to be?
I would say yeah. And like, you know, as a baseball player, you're always going to have to evolve. You're always going to have to keep up with the game and all that and like make your adjustments. But I feel like for me, as a hitter, like, I feel like since I was a kid, I've never like thought of myself as being like a big power hitter like that. But I definitely thought that I was somebody that could drive the ball like gap to gap, and like I said, like, you know, take my hits when I can, also taking my shots, and I feel like that I'm very comfortable being that way.
That's Ryan again.
Julio, throughout the course of the season, you have highs and lows. This team has hit some rough spots even in the last month where, you know, it felt like you guys' backs were against the wall and you guys have always responded. What is it about the team and the nature of it where you believe you guys are going to respond to all the challenges moving forward?
I just feel like it doesn't matter how tough we get. I feel like as a group, we feel like we got each other's back. You know, we stay tight with each other, and I just feel like there's no like complaining. You know, we always like take it as baseball, and like we know deep down that we're a really good team. You know, regardless what's happening around us, regardless of the result of the game, I feel like that's something that have never changed. And I feel like that's why we have been able to bounce back from those tough spots. And you know, like you said, we have done it already. So being back against the wall or whatever. I just feel like it's one game at a time, and that's kind of how we approach it.
Go to Shannon in the middle.
Julio, what have you learned about when you take your shots and when you take your hits?
I feel like it's a game. I feel like listening to the game. I feel like that's something that I've been paying more and more attention. The game is gonna tell you what you need to do. Like when it's a good time to take your shot, when it's a good count, the situation of the game, where the runners are at, and like all those little situations. I feel like I always tell you like what you need to do, and sometimes I'm not even trying to take my shot and I hit one out. So it's part of it too.
Last night, an example?
Yeah. I still don't know how I hit that one out, but it was fun.
Andres, first question, just how you're feeling after going to yesterday?
I'm feeling great. I don't feel any. Well, obviously I feel sore, like normal. I remember the last time that I went 2 innings, but I feel pretty good. Just ready to go and try to do my best.
Dan said, when it comes to the playoffs bullpen, everyone's available. Are you feeling, if the situation requires it, to go out there again today?
Yes, of course. Like I said yesterday, we're going to push the more that we can to take the win, and we know that everybody in the bullpen is really important for us. But at the same time, you have to be a little bit safe with what you do. You don't have to do crazy things. But yes, I feel pretty good today, and if the team needs me, I'm going to be there.
Go to Dan in the front.
Andres, how did the regular season and how they used you help get you ready for the workload to be at this stage of the season? Using you in the 9th role consistently in the first half to be able to have the stamina at this time of year.
I think that changed a lot. Like you say, the workload that they put, they were really careful with me this year on when they're going to use me, don't use me in 1+. And the way that they managed my workload this year was great. What is all I can ask for. Just the way that they treat me and they worry about every day. They asked me if I am ready. They didn't ask me to push more than 1 inning, and I feel like that is why I feel pretty good today.
We'll go to Adam in the front.
Just along those lines, is this something you're embracing now too as you get to the playoffs? You've talked about they're going to ask more of you, obviously, 2 innings last night. Is this something you're excited about and prepared for here going into the postseason?
Yes, of course. Obviously, the fans over there were awesome yesterday, helped us a lot with that energy that we need and to go through those things. And yes, every time that I get the ball, I'm going to try to do my best. Sometimes it's going to be good, sometimes it's going to be bad, but never doubt that I give my 100% that day.
Go in the second row in the middle.
Andres, are there any lessons or experiences from the 2022 run that maybe you've taken into preparing for this run, and that you've helped you become a better pitcher?
Probably, I remember in 2022, if I have to pick one thing that I learned, is don't try to do too much. Sometimes we get that mentality of because it's the playoffs is more important and all those things. You try to do more, and that is the worst thing that you can do. You just have to do the same thing that you do every day, and that is why you have a really good results in the regular season, because you didn't try to do too much. You just try to do what you have that day, and I think that is the key here.
Go in the front row, Mike.
Andres, these guys have talked about the word fight over the last several weeks. So how urgent does Game 2 feel, given that you're working in the scope of a 5-game series?
I don't know. The only thing that I can say about that is it's just like we have a really good team and we have a really good chance here. Obviously, we would love to get that first game, but this is not finished yet. We have a lot of work to do, and I know everybody individual and as a team we're going to do the best that we can to get the game 2 and just take everything game by game. Don't think too much about the future. Don't think too much about what is going to happen, and it's the same thing that I say. Personal me, I just take everything pitch by pitch and see what happens.
Go to the third row, Josh.
Andres, you've had fewer of the 1+s this year. What's the experience for you in the dugout like when you come off the field for after your first inning and you still have to go back out there again?
Obviously, it was weird for me. Didn't happen in a long time. But as soon as I got out of the first inning, the first thing that they say is they came to me and they asked me, "Are you ready for another one?" I say, "Of course." And I get down a little bit. ¿Cómo se dice? Downstairs. Mm-hmm. And then I just breathe, try to recover. And as soon as I got to outs, I went out. And I was like, same as I always think. I'm going to do my best.
Kate.
Andres, you're just 26, but you've been here since 2021. You're one of the longest tenured members, the longest tenured member of this bullpen, I think. How have you grown and changed as a person and as a player over your time as a Mariner?
I feel that the only thing that has changed is the mentality that I have. Before, it's not that I just got the ball and throw. And right now I have a little bit more of how to manage those situations of pressure. I still having a hard time because you're never going to get used to it, especially when you're in the ninth inning. But with the help of my teammates, I feel like I've been getting better. Every time that when I'm struggling or something, I have JP over there, I have Gino, I have Naylor, I have Polanco, I have Carl, of course, who always know me really good. They know me for a lot of years. So they know when they have to go with me and talk to me a little bit to make me feel better. And I think that has been the most important thing for me. They picked the right time to give me some breath. Yes, breath, and that's it. I think that has been the difference.
Go on the back row in the middle.
Talk about that catch last night and just kind of coming off the field after a play like that.
To be honest, that I always throw and I don't watch when I am throwing the ball because I fall that way. So I know it wasn't like that. The ball wasn't coming like that hard, but I look really hard because I didn't watch the ball. I think that I saw the picture when I didn't see when I catch the ball, because of course I was like first thinking God forgot that ball, but I just got scared. That's it, because I think in my career never happened that before, and the ball never come towards me. And if I remember one time hit me in the ankle, and that was the only time that I remember. Nothing to my face. Maybe it wasn't that close to my face, but I feel like it was really close.
The replay showed your eyes were closed.
Yes. Yes. I just saw the ball. I saw a little bit of the ball, and then I just remember doing this, and I got it. And the other thing why I fall was because I felt like sometimes when we are in situations like that, we try to get your body tight, and then is when some things can happen, like you feel something in your legs or something like that. That is why I just fall, just to make sure like I didn't get tight anywhere. And I know that they're going to ask me for the second one, so I have to be ready.
Anything else for Andres? All right.
Oh yes, of course. Every time that we leave the apartment, we leave the game on, so she can watch it.